Hello everyone, welcome back to Magic the Gathering Arena playing Quick Draft Crimson Vow. First pick a land is our rare, unlucky. But we do have a Ballista Watcher, which is quite solid. Fierce Retribution also pretty fine, but of the... not... I don't know, I wouldn't be sad to first pick Fierce Retribution in some cases, but in this case I have a better card, which is Ballista Watcher, so I will be choosing that. Dawnheart Geist surely is not that great, is it? No. I'm a little surprised it's uncommon. But I guess maybe it fits well in constructed decks or something, where you can run a bunch of them and a bunch of enchantments. I don't know. But in that case, like, in constructed, who cares about rarities, right? Anyway. I guess they affect cost somehow. There's no way we're supposed to take Storm-Carved Ghost, right? That's crazy talk. Yeah. Okay. We'll take the Ballista Watcher. Butler's okay, Security's okay, Child of the Pack is okay. I'm probably supposed to take Butler here, right? Ranked 95th best, the draft guide says. Substantially better than Wedding Security, and I assume better than Child of the Pack. It likes Child of the Pack a lot, huh? Okay, sure, I'll take that. I have some red. I mean, it's tempting because I have red, but I didn't think it was that great. Alright, sure. Another Ballista Watcher? Okay. People to my right are not playing red, which is nice. We're going to have to hear that Werewolf Howl a lot today. Hopefully. None of this is that great. I could just take Sigardian Paladin in case I end up in red... No, I wouldn't end up in red-white. If I did, this wouldn't help. I could just take, like, a crummy green card, like Snarling Wolf, I guess? Innocent Traveler is by far the better card. Markov Retribution doesn't really play very well in red-green, but I'm not in red-green yet, I guess. We could wind up in red-black. I don't know. I like these two wolves okay. They're fine. I guess there's also this wolf, if we don't want to commit to red. But I like picking up some cheap stuff, and Sporeback Wolf is nice. So is Snarling Wolf. They're okay. I don't know. I'll take the Snarling Wolf. There's some red-black on offer here. This is gotta be by far the best card, right? I'm really shocked this hasn't been taken, actually. What was it in the last pack that I was thinking of taking that was in black? The Traveler, right? Or the Guest, or... Yeah, Traveler is what it's called, the Innocent Traveler. I think I'll take this. Like, I'm not married to red-green yet. And if I end up in red-black, this will be really nice. And none of these are anything to write home about. Markov Retribution would be good in red-black, but I think I just take the Flame Blessed Bolt as pretty reasonable removal. Fits in either red deck. Sure Strike. No, well, Socialite, I guess, in case I end up in red-black. Evolving Wilds. No, Sure Strike is pretty good with potential menace creatures and just like the large red-green stuff you wind up with. I think Sure Strike's okay. Yeah, sure. Nothing incredible, but it's a 2-drop. A lot of Laid to Rest being offered, which, fine, I don't really want it myself either. I guess I'll just take an Heirloom in case I end up splashing green and maining black. Wow! Butler's still here? That's actually kind of shocking. Okay. Maybe we will be in black. Crushing Canopy's okay. I don't want to mulch, do I? I don't think so. I don't want that. Storm Tracer Drake is too hard. All the uncommons and rares. Okay, no, actually there's a Bleed Dry, which is great. Okay. What did I just click? Okay, I got Bleed Dry, thank God. It didn't... Something looked weird. Wolf Strike is pretty good, I guess. What are you? Spider, no thanks. Reckless Impulse is okay, but I think a Mariner, just like solid creature. Well, actually, am I in green? I did just take a Wolf Strike, forgetting that I've gotten all these good black cards, but... I mean... I think we could be in green, right? I think I'm probably better off taking Reckless Impulse here. Just, like, because it's in red and it's draw. So what I have in black is, like, the Harvester, a Butler, Pointed Discussion, and Bleed Dry. Yeah, okay. I don't know. We might have to run the Heirloom. We'll see. Just a Socialite, I guess? I don't really want Anger. A Sawblade Slinger. Not really that exciting, I think. How good do you think it is? Yeah, not that great. I'll just take the Scavenger. It's generally fine. Massive Might. An okay combat trick? I don't know. Just give me more creatures. Another Spider. I think Evolving Wilds is a pretty good pickup if we're going to try to run 3 colors over a second Reckless Impulse. Falconwrath Celebrant's lovely top end. Witch's Web could be, I mean, it's playable. It's nothing to write home about. Ugh. I mean, this is just a 2-mana 2/2 most of the time, right? I don't have that many wolves, despite being red. Probably a Sure Strike over another Heirloom. This is just fixing. I don't really want draw that much. Or not draw, sorry. I don't have enough draw that I'm really dying to have more mana, I think. So I'd be using this primarily just like as a flexible colored land that can only be played for 3 mana. I wouldn't be using it so much for ramp. I think just a Sure Strike is okay. Crushing Canopy I already have one of, but it's better than Bloody Betrayal. Path of Peril is lovely. Yep. I mean, I won't be able to play it for Cleave. That maybe makes it worse. And it is double black, which is going to be a little bit harder to play. But what else would I take from this pack? A Socialite, I guess? Path of Peril is way better than Socialite, but it might not be very good in this deck. Like, the inability to play it for cleave does make it a lot worse. Sometimes it works pretty well. I think I'm going to skip Path of Peril. Just take another Socialite. Or a 2-drop? I don't know. Green is still not that easy to run. I have very little green. I should cut this, actually. Having green on turn 1 is much harder than having it, like, by the time I want to remove something or for a turn 4 play. I guess we're maining red-black and splashing a little green. Okay. Well, that certainly makes this a better looking play. Survey. Ugh. Bleed Dry is great, though. Flourishing Hunter is also kind of good. I would happily take that or either of these 2-mana red cards on the wheel. Boy, there's a lot here. I think I want a 3-drop, though. Ugh, Wedding Security? How much blood do I have? Not that much, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the Celebrants give 2 more. I think a Wedding Security is the way I'm supposed to go, like have a 5-drop. Gluttonous Guest is great, but this can do so much. The times I've drafted this, it has never done so much, but like it can. So I'm going to try it. One of these days. Ooh, Fellstinger. I don't have a card that I'm dying to exploit. I guess Butler. But it's still totally fine as like just a 3-mana play. If you have to, it can draw something. I mean, I don't know. It can draw something, or if you need a Death Touch, it can be that instead. That flexibility is really nice. Runebound Wolf. I have a total of 3 werewolves and no wolves, so this doesn't seem that great. That said, there's nothing else here, really. Rot-Tide Gargantua if I wanted some top end, I guess. I don't especially. Weaver of Blossoms would not be a bad 3-drop. And I am looking for more 3-drops. Okay, sure. You know, it requires running... Oh my god, Dormant Grove, pick 7? Oof, Knife would be nice as well. I'm taking the Dormant Grove, though. Suddenly much happier about having green. I mean, Doom Dissenter and Grisly Ritual are the 2 reasonable options here, I think. Doom Dissenter just as like a playable 2-drop. Grisly Ritual as some removal. I have 2 Bleed Dries and a Wolf Strike and a Flame Blessed Bolt and 2 Sure Strikes. I think I'd rather just have a creature than more removal, especially removal that's so heavy. Don't much want any of this. I guess there's a 2-drop there. The Flame Breather is not really doing anything for me, but, well... Also, having a 2-mana green card is a bit worse than a 2-mana red card. And yeah, okay. Maybe I just won't play this then. Flame Breather's okay, But I don't think I want to cut anything for another flame breather. Rather, well, I don't know, maybe I don't need all these sure strikes. But I don't really need another flame breather either. More reckless impulse. I think we have way too many 4-drops. So maybe I can cut. Maybe I don't want to add another scavenger. I'm not sure how good these socialites really are. They're probably okay. This is a fairly, like... Is it a proactive deck? Am I attacking the opponent a lot? I don't know, I like blood as well. I think I'm going to cut a socialite for a scavenger. Alright. So there were 1 or 2 cards in my sideboard I wanted to revisit and consider actually running. I don't remember what they were. We'll have a quick look also at the deck and see if there's anything I should be cutting. Like, do I have too many sure strikes? I don't think so. Lacerate Flesh could go back in, I guess. I have a couple green combat tricks or something, like maybe cut a sure strike to run a Witch's Web. I don't have that many menace creatures, which is what really loves sure strike. Witch's Web, like, gives you +3/+3 instead of giving you first strike, and it costs the same. And it also handles reach and it untaps. So I think I like the Witch's Web better than the sure strike. There will be cases where sure strike is better for sure. But Witch's Web will work in most of the same situations and can also handle flyers. It's running 4 forests, is that okay? I guess so, yeah. I have 5 green cards. Doom Dissenter is not my favorite card for sure in this deck. But we'll give it a try. Is this a Ballista Watcher deck? Not really, but what else am I supposed to label it as, right? The curve is a bit wacky. A lot of 4-drops. Jeez. Alright. Well, we'll give it a try. I would appreciate an opponent. But I could just cut here. Alright, a second and a half later, we're back. You guys really didn't miss much. Wanh. W-A-N-H. Coming to you live from W-A-N-H. Alright, already my color... My choice to run 3 colors is hurting me. If this were a mountain, the hand would be lovely. Well, I mean, this would be a little questionable. I don't want to keep this. Pretty slow, but I do have the Fellstinger at least. Yeah, we just play this for a mountain, I think. Yeah, come on, mountain. There we go. This game is not starting off great, that's for sure. Pointed Discussion is probably better than Felstinger, because right now I would be playing the Felstinger, I think, like, for draw. Whereas I could just do the same thing for this and also get blood, and still have the more flexible Felstinger around. Ugh. Okay, well we can bleed that dry in a minute, but first I want to play the Socialite. What's with all these swamps? Like, I've drawn 5 of my 6 swamps already. Green, white. I didn't notice that. That's a little weird. Wedding Security is also a good pickup here. I guess I'll play it. And plan to bleed them dry and then attack next turn? I don't really want to go in with this. This is a good blocker right now. For their 2 attack stuff, 2 power stuff. They might attack with the pup, but I suspect not. They're waiting for that to get undeal-withable before they attack with it, I think. Which actually, like, yeah. Ooh, that's a card. Oh, I can't play it though, so maybe it's not a card. So I could bleed dry the pup before or after attacking. Before or after letting them declare blockers. I think it should be before, right? Yeah. I guess maybe I should have done it after attackers so I would get to draw something, which might change my mind. Not that it would have. Hey. Maybe I shouldn't have played that swamp? Huh. Surely they don't triple block, do they? No. Okay, they block with this thing to get its disturb available. I think maybe triple blocking would have been good. Wedding Security can really get out of control. Ooh, it's nighttime. Alright, I'm just going to attack with my 5/5, which is a 6/6, and see what they want to do about it. I have plenty of combat tricks should they choose to block. Nope, just chumping away. Okay. It's getting to the point where I think I could stand to just have a Death Touch creature on hand. More than I want this draw. Like, I don't know. I mean, I could turn this into a Death Touch. It's just a garbage 3/3. Yeah, I'd rather have 2 cards than that. It's 3/3 Menace, but, like, it doesn't have its effect. Yeah, get out of here. I want cards. Ooh, should have done that pre-comp. Well, no, I wanted the mana for other stuff. Yeah, okay. But we're certainly going to finish up by playing this rather than by playing Butler. Right? Maybe not. Maybe it's nice to have Witch's Web available. No, you know what's nice is to make it daytime. They're not going to have like damage-based removal that Witch's Web would help with. Okay, that's a pretty good card. I'm glad I drew and also played something that isn't affected by that. This first for the extra information, I guess. There's tons of stuff I wouldn't mind picking back up here. Both of my 5-drops and my Ballista Watcher are in there. My other Ballista Watcher, I should say. Okay, I was going to say we play no spells here. We might want to play the Scavenger. Making it nighttime for this guy would be kind of cool, though, wouldn't it? I don't know. He couldn't really kill anything important on their turn. I think I'll just let it stay day for now. I mean, they're not going to have anything that digs up instants and sorceries, so getting rid of by invitation only is just crazy. I'm going to take the health. The life, I should say. I think making the Death Touch thing bigger is kind of cool. But let's just, I mean, we're going to do more damage with, well... Stopping them from, like, Wolf Striking this is actually kind of cool. But if they have the oh, I should have taken... I should have eaten this thing. Forgot that was an option. Let's attack. I'll give it to this one because it's going to be attacking. Yeah, big mistake there. I should have obviously eaten this. I didn't even notice it in the discard. Didn't look like a creature. Okay. Wolf Striking the 6/6 seems pretty good. But I'd rather do it... Oh no, I can't do it on their turn because I want to attack with this. I guess I just swing in buffing this. And then use Sure Strike as the combat trick. I could buff this and get Vigilance, but I don't really need this as a blocker. I want more combat, more token counters. So yeah, attack with this, have Sure Strike ready. Could even attack with the 1/2, but they can always choose not to kill it, so I think that would be obviously wrong. Scorpion, sure. You want to kill my butler for me? Okay, before that happens, I kill it. So, in a sense, eating this thing would have been bad, because it cost them 4 mana to play it. And it didn't even do anything. It got me to kill their thing, which I might not have wanted to do otherwise, I guess. That's fair. Weaver of Blossoms is okay. But more than that, I think I just want to make it night. I don't know. I'd like to start getting buffs on Weaver of Blossoms, I guess. And I can kill the Scorpion, you know, on my turn. With a tap rather than an attack. It's fine. This lets me attack with these two. Not that it's amazing value, but it's fine. Okay. Oh, wow, that was a fast match. This is not great. Not horrible, because I might get the Fellstinger down, but if I do, it's just like sack itself. I don't have any follow-up plays. I think I have to mulligan again. This is okay. Butler into Stinger and like also Pointed Discussion. I just need a land eventually. What do I put back? Maybe Bolt? I don't know. The Ballista Watcher is pretty long-term stuff. If I draw one mountain, the Bolt is going to be pretty nice to have. We did win that last one on a mulligan, by the way. Mulligans are important to do when you need to do them. Alright, looking for a land next turn, ideally, or this gets a lot worse. Well, there goes Bleed Dry on 2 lands. Kind of all what I wanted to draw. But I'm glad I didn't draw the Bleed Dry this turn. I don't want it now. Oof. No attacks, I guess? No, don't kill my Butler. I don't have anything to pick up right now. Okay. Gonna flip that immediately, I guess. With your blood token. Yep. Looking around a lot. Okay. So we're in very bad shape this game. I could block this, but it doesn't, like, help, so I won't. Oh my god. Well, there's my mountain. I think I just have to play the Pointed Discussion and let the loner get me a bit. Okay. I mean, I'm almost dead here. Actually, even if opponent plays nothing ever, I might be dead. I guess I can Bleed Dry the loner if I draw another swamp. I wanted to do something involving bolting it, but I guess that does let it do damage. Oh, I forgot about this effect. Uh-oh. Well, now I'm really dead. Yep. I guess that'll do it. May as well go down in style. Had some good cards, but I just couldn't get that third mana. Mulliganed twice, well no, mulliganed once, rather, with 2 lands, and then again had 2 lands and chose to keep. I don't think it was unreasonable. 2 lands is, you know, less than you would usually like, but it's often fine. And mulliganing down to 5 is pretty scary. Right, it's really hard to keep a 5-card hand with 3 mana in it, right? So you're just keeping like 2 spells? Okay, this is like the same hand, except this time I have Reckless Impulse. Okay, so that's much better, actually. I can play Butler and then Impulse into some lands or something. Okay, see you later lands. That's not what Butler is for, but still pretty good. It happens that I'm gonna draw fewer non-spells this game. We still Impulse, right? Rather than rather than like Fell Stingering the Butler? Yeah, I think so. Boy, I really want a land draw next turn so that I can play one of those. Preferably, I guess, the Grove. But even if I can't, like, Reckless Impulse was fine. It drew me a land, I guess. Oh no, it didn't. It did nothing. Okay, in that case, if I don't draw a land, these are... Reckless Impulse was awful. If I do draw a land, it was great. Okay, kind of scared about what's happening out here. Oh, there goes my Dormant Grove. I guess I just Stinger away the Butler for lands? I mean, yeah. Decline to exile, right? Yeah, there's nothing in there. Oh my god. I can't draw lands to save my life this draft. I'm gonna lose this one as well. And in fairness, I think that not drawing a land is not going to be the reason I lose this. Them removing that was a huge problem. Maybe a Death Touch thing? To deal with their big dude? I don't know, I like a 2/5. It should shut down a lot of damage. Okay. Never mind that. I guess I'm just dead. Excuse me. Yeah. Even after gaining 2 life, I can't block enough damage. So that'll be that. See you later. Red-white just did a great job tempoing out, right? Played solid creatures every turn, played removal on all my creatures, and that was that. That's what red-white wants to do. Wow, very fast match again. Good hand. Would love to draw a forest, but other than that, I'm very happy. Not a bad pickup either. Probably play that instead of Reckless Impulse on 3, just to spend the mana more efficiently. This is a great card to have against their 2/4. If they Sure Strike it or something, I guess that's fine. Should have attacked first. Okay, still looking for a third land, but oh no. That's really scary. Omega scary. Okay, there, I drew that land, but I still can't actually use my combat trick. All I can really play is a butler, which doesn't do anything right now. Doomed Dissenter wouldn't be so bad right now. They're going to buff the Spore Crawler so I can't double trade, I think, and then get in for 7. Oh, or just flip and be vigilant? No. Okay. So assuming that they do this, what am I playing? I guess just a Scavenger now? Socialite is not doing anything to this board. I can make this block later when this thing attacks for more. I don't know, maybe I won't. Yeah, I should have. It should attack for at least 4 in the future, and I don't need to play Doomed Dissenter right now, I think. Yeah. So, no blocks. I'm in a lot of trouble, obviously. Ugh, this is not... Well, I guess it's fine. Actually, it's kind of great. Because I only wanted to spend 4 mana anyway. Maybe I should have eaten this one? I don't know. Probably, right? Yeah. Because I was like, well, this is the better card. But like Doom Dissenter is the one that I might want to play in the near future. Plus, I already have one of these in hand. Oh, okay. That was a really important part of my plan. Do I let in 6? I mean, I guess it's... like I'm dead no matter what, right? If only I had a Doom Dissenter in my graveyard, I could maybe play it and a 4-drop, although I don't know how that would really help. Well, playing this and a 2-drop would have been good. Yeah, I think it was a big mistake. Not that it was likely to be enough to win the game, but I should have exiled the other one. Oh, the Scavenger is not bad, actually. Gains me a little life. Not enough to live, though. Right? Yeah. Still dead. Okay, well, that's too bad. The draft started off pretty well, and then suddenly I died. You know, I got one very convincing win, and then just 3 disasters. I don't know, this one wasn't a disaster. Opponent had a very strong start, and I, like, couldn't quite keep up. I was almost there. I guess I spent too long drawing cards, basically, in the early game. So, you know, was that because I had too much draw? You know, if those draw cards had been creatures, would I have been okay? I don't think so. Toxic Scorpions actually would have saved the day. But I don't think I even, like, skipped a single one of those in the draft. Ugh. Alright, well, that's it for today. Short video. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.